Okay, so TikTok Shop trends and predictions for 2026 for whether you're looking to launch on TikTok Shop or you're already on there and you're looking to kind of generate and continue to scale on the platform. So my name is Wright. I'm founder of Social Tail. We've generated over $80 million on TikTok Shop for brands in the US, UK, and in European markets. So hopefully you'll get something from this video today so you can be ahead of the curve and continue or to start your journey on TikTok Shop. So these are all predictions that I believe is going to happen on TikTok Shop. And if not, I feel like it's something that you should still be getting ahead of, because whether we're too early or maybe, like I say, it's something you might not be ready for, as long as you're starting to think about this, I think it makes perfect sense. And one thing which, again, I'll give you for free right now, I'll tell you that I'm not going to talk about TikTok lives within this. So again, I feel that lives are current. I feel like a lot of brands are understanding it and figuring it out, but this is going to be more kind of components, which I feel like is going to allow you to start to get ahead of the curve and start to at least think what your competitors are also thinking. So with that being said, let's kind of get started into this. So the number one, the first kind of prediction is, I believe that smarter brands will start to shift from mass sampling to strategic creator investment. So I was speaking with a friend a couple of weeks back, came from the US from the Reacher team, and basically we were kind of discussing it, and it makes perfect sense, right? Because I feel like we're still going to probably see the commission structure from a TikTok Shop perspective, where again, you're going to send out a lot of samples at mass, and then hopefully you will get obviously content back in return for it. But when you start to break down the numbers and break down the math on this, it doesn't really make sense. And I just want to kind of show you, I'm not going to slide in here, but I want to kind of show you exactly what I mean by that. So again, if for example, the old model or the current model right now is you take a typical 5K sample budget, right? So again, and you've got 500 samples. So let's take example, roughly you're going to probably maybe get on the low end, like say 65-70% people who are going to actually post the content. And then realistically, you're probably going to get less than 10% who are going to actually generate any sales for your brand. So when you think of them numbers like that, it doesn't make the strategy that effective from a cost per ROI positive video, because again, you're sending out a lot of sample, which again, a lot of brands forget this comes at a cost. So I do personally believe that brands are going to start thinking about their overall TikTok Shop marketing budget rather than segmenting it, which I think that's been the case for the past 18 months, where you think you've got a line item for, which again, you still need to have a line item, but again, I think people are segmented too much, where you got a line item for your sample cost, you got a line item for your discounting, a line item for your commission, line item for whilst we're thinking about your creator budget and your retainer, stuff like that. So again, and your ad budget, that's the main one I was thinking of. So again, I feel like having the overall budget and then utilizing that to the max is going to be the way, because I feel like with the new model, which again is more strategic retainers. So again, a lot of people understand retainers. I kind of think we're going into that wave where, again, I speak to numerous brands, they've either tested retainers, it's not worked. But I think, again, it's because there's not been enough logic behind it, where, again, and I've seen it as well for brands we've audited, they've kind of given it to an agency or a team to manage it. They maybe have a creator database, or again, they work with some creators, they've sent samples out, and that's kind of been it. They may brief them a little bit, but I feel like it needs to go that extra mile where, first of all, you have maybe like the first pilot where you're testing the creators to find the winning angles to begin with, so more of a low budget. Then once you've got the winning angles, you kind of build out your calendar for continual testing, but with more creators at scale. And this is what we're seeing, and this is what we're doing right now with the brand. So again, we can get that predictable ROI. So again, if you're spending 5K on retainers, you ideally want at least a 2 ROI from, which I believe is definitely doable right now. And again, when you start to work out the economics on the cost per video, it also works out to be so much cheaper, because again, we're getting videos under at least $15 right now from this. So even mentally, you might think, okay, doing this model means that we're going to be spending a lot more on creators, because again, it's a bigger budget. It isn't the case, and you're going to get more of an ROI for it. So personally, I think 2026, we're going to see more of this happening. We're already preparing for this, and I feel like a lot more brands are going to get smarter and wiser to it, and the ones that are going to continue to scale. And obviously, if they're launching, they're going to get launched a lot quicker. Whereas I do feel like the commission based, it will still work, don't get me wrong, but you're going to be waiting. It's going to take a lot of time, and this is why right now we're seeing a lot of brands invest in the commission structure. After 2-3 months, it doesn't work. and then a drop off. So again, this is what I think is going to be a big move going into 2026. And then next, again, I've been an advocate of this for a long period of time, and I always use the guys over at Frostbuddy as an example, but I think that brand-owned content will become a core revenue driver, because again, right now, whether you look on Fastmos or look at your brands, with your own brand or your agency brand you're running, I guarantee you probably less than 5% of GMV is being generated from the actual organic brand page, right? And again, if you look at a brand like a Frostbuddy, for example, at any given time, they probably generate about 20% worth of GMV from their overall brand profile. So again, the reason why this works so well is because you can test ideas quickly. You can then give them ideas also to the creators. And again, it's just rapid. It's again, because TikTok is not bothered about perfection, it's bothered about speed. So imagine you can post in 5 to 10 videos per day on your actual brand profile. Again, this is where I think it's going to go. But I do think what you're going to see is brands are going to probably start to have 2 pages. So one for their overall like general brand page and one for more the shoppable video page. Because again, what you're seeing, and again, whether it's going to be the case, I'm not sure, but you're still going to have that social media team who wants to have the nice, pretty kind of videos for like Instagram style, which again, that's not really what TikTok's about, but you're still going to get that. So I personally think that brands are going to start to navigate and move to create secondary pages where they can just be testing, rapid testing, and creating a lot more content. Because again, also, you got to remember, you need to send out less samples. You can do this in-house or get the creator to do this. And the main thing is you're not having to pay extra affiliate commission, right? And what most people forget as well within TikTok Shop, you can actually have 5 marketing pages. So again, this is a strategy that's working really well for us now. And again, I think it's going to continue into 2026. So right now, you can obviously, like I say, you can create your normal shoppable video marketing page. You can create maybe a different language page. So again, in the US, we have like Spanish page, some of our brands, or we have like an AI page, for example, or like a bottom of funnel page. So again, all these kind of methods are working. And again, I think that's going to continue to happen. And again, this is going to allow you to get higher margins within TikTok Shop. So this one's kind of fallen a bit under the radar because it already does exist, but again, TikTok Shop have not pushed it enough. So I think subscriptions are going to start to become more of a growth lever. And again, as a brand, you need to start thinking about this if you are like saying food and beverage, or if you're on health, supplements, again, or beauty even. I think that this is a great opportunity to start to move into this, because again, most brands right now probably activate subscriptions and they're getting some come through, but they've not probably got a strategy around it, right? So again, I think as a brand, and again, this could also be a technique that you might have marketing pages about subscriptions, for example. I think brands need to start dedicating time and resources, whether again, it's educating the creators around it to create content around it, or the brand itself. Because again, if you can get customers signing up to subscriptions, it's going to generate you more lifetime value within the platform. So again, I know people always like, oh, we want to move people from TikTok Shop over to our website and get them to buy on that. That can still happen. But again, people are going to either go on Amazon, do subscriptions, or again, they can go onto TikTok Shop and do subscriptions. You want to be where your customers are, right? So again, if you could do subscriptions properly, I think it's going to be a great way to do it. So again, educating the creators, they can start creating content about price incentivizing and stuff like that. And again, I think this is going to be a win going into 2026. So another one here, which again, we're starting to see more and more. And again, if you keep your ears close to the ground and you're part of different community stuff as well, this is what is currently happening. So we already have a lot of brands, well, not a lot of brands, we have probably a handful of brands right now who do have high ticket products. And I think this is going to continue going into 2026 because again, brands are understanding and also consumers are understanding that TikTok Shop is not just about buying products under $20 anymore, okay? So again, high ticket products are starting to work. And again, if you're starting to listen to the affiliate communities as well, they're liking to promote these products because again, imagine getting 15% off rather than a $20 product, you get 15% hypothetically of a $100 product, right? So again, you are getting more for your buck from a creator perspective. And again, I think personally as well, even though high-end products will be costly to send out, this is where, again, going back to the retainer piece, earlier on, you get less and get them to create more content. So again, you're not necessarily needing volume, you're needing more quality. So I think there's definitely going to be that situation where it's going to start to shift from mid to high AOV brands are going to start to enter into the platform. And again, this is still the buzzword, and I think it will continue into 2026, but I think there's going to be a lot more emphasis on it because, again, I feel like community will be the competitive advantage. Because personally, I think getting affiliates and getting creators on board is easy, right? You've got obviously bots that can do it, you can do outreach. So again, you can find creators quite easily, but it's then how do you retain them, right? So I believe obviously the community advantage is going to play a big part into this. So again, if I was a brand, I would be investing maybe just getting someone who's going to be focusing on the community side, because there's a few reasons for this. Again, if you launch on TikTok Shop or you're on TikTok Shop already and you have maybe one hero product, which is great, starts to do well, rather than when you go to launch a secondary or third product, you have to keep finding net new creators. Imagine you've got a community already of 300 creators that are ready, they've already created content, they already understand the brand, you've been training them, you launch a new product or you want to get a new product out there, you send it to 300 creators. They're going to be more inclined and they're going to probably create better content than again having to keep finding net new creators as well. So again, it's lower cost and you're going to continue to get that better consistency. So I believe that communities, it's not just going to be a buzzword, it's going to be the core retention of the performance going into 2026. And this is an interesting one because again, we're seeing this already and I think it's going to continue to develop going into 2026. So again, geographical expansion, we're already seeing this now. For example, a few days ago, Golly already launched into Germany, they've launched into UK, for example. And again, I feel like a lot more of the US brands are going to do that because it's quite easy to get set up, whether it's through an agency or doing it themselves, it's quite easy. So the barriers have decreased in terms of being able to get into these different markets. And again, it's just this discoverability. If you can get into, like say, if you are a US brand, you can get into UK or the European markets now, and even like say, Mexico as well. It's quite easy to do. So I feel like this is definitely going to be the case. And again, all these affiliates are going to continue to grow in these different markets as well. So again, I think expansion will continue to happen in 2026, which means it's going to mean more competition. But again, it's going to raise the standards across where it's the creative content that's coming out there. And again, it's going to continue to drive more GMV for TikTok Shop, for affiliates, for the brands in total. And this one here, we're seeing this happen daily right now, and it's going to continue because I feel like the small enterprise brands, they're already thinking about this and they're probably going to be launching. So you've seen Disney, you've seen Ralph Lauren, you've seen Meta, you've seen even Samsung, they've all launched on TikTok Shop in the last few months, and not even the last year, the last few months they've launched. So again, I feel like this is going to continue to happen because they're going to pave the way. And I'm not saying these brands are going to launch and do well on the platform because again, we don't know who's going to be running the actual activity, but the fact that they're taking notice that TikTok Shop is not just a fad, they've obviously invested time, money, resources. So again, because if they're doing this, there's so many sign-off and so much red tape they have to go through. They're thinking about this long term. So again, I feel like this is going to continue because again, if you look back to 2024, 2025, so some early brands on there, I think even like brands like Adidas and stuff are on the platform, but nothing's been done for it. So again, I feel like the resources are going to come in, the commitment's going to be there. So I feel like it's going to continue to grow into 2026, which again, means more competition. So if you are a smaller brand with a smaller budget, you need to be getting on the platform and you need to have a strategy that's going to allow you to dominate. Because if these start coming to the platform, I'm not saying necessarily it's going to be harder, but it's going to become more competitive landscape. So again, if you can do this sooner rather than later, the better. If you are starting to scale right now, start to build your community out, because then again, no matter when the big brands launch, you've got the community, you've got your creator database, and you're pretty much good to go. So, like I say, that's the 2026 playbook that I believe is going to be happening going into the next year. So again, it's going to be, like I say, a strategic creator investment, subscriptions, creator communities, own content engines, high tickets, and market expansion. So again, I feel like these are 6 pillars that are going to be happening whether you like it or not. Or even if I may be wrong, I feel like you should be focusing on these yourself, because again, if you can, you will get ahead of the curve. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you are need any support with your TikTok shop, whether again it's strategy, audit, full end-to-end or a la carte services, click the link below, book a call with myself or one of the team members. We'll be happy to either, like say, audit your account, give you a free forecast in terms of what TikTok shop will look like, and again, just support your needs going into the new year. Hope you enjoyed this. And again, if you click around the page, you'll find another great video that'll hopefully support your TikTok shop journey. Peace.